Can I feel it again? It's on your head, just let go. Off of the bed.
Hello, my name's Nathan, and I write music under a project called Kesmar and Lazy Wax.
I wanna feel it again. We'll feel it again.
I got into music, I think, through my dad. He kind of handed me a guitar when I was pretty young, and I think it all kind of stemmed from there. I definitely came from quite a musical family. He was always playing music when he was young.
I saw light on your faces.
My major influences would be Quincy Jones, for sure. I think everything or anything that he's touched and put out has just completely blown my mind. I think he's just an absolute genius. And I think I'm definitely just inspired by my friends, really. Being able to have so many amazing friends that all play music. I'm always just super inspired by when we get together.
Something's wrong, but I never know why. I'm always...
My process to producing songs is pretty simple. I like to keep it kind of pretty structured. Usually I'll kind of just have an idea on the keyboard or like a kind of drum pattern that I'm hearing, and then I'll kind of just put it in and start building around it, really. I like to have a kind of solid bed and the song semi-thought out before, really writing to it. Or sometimes it'll be the other way around. I'll have a song kind of written and then I can bring it into the studio and start messing around with it that way. So I also have a project called Lazy Wax with my friend Tim Air. It is kind of like an instrumental-esque project of kind of disco house that Tim and I started hanging out a lot when he moved from Melbourne to Sydney, and I think it kind of came pretty naturally on the first day that we hung out. We didn't really plan to do anything in that kind of vein, and then I think we wrote Pluto, which was our first song, and then kind of since then I think we just started writing more and more, and then it kind of evolved into this project. And I think ever since we started putting out tunes, it's been going really well. I think we were pretty surprised, I think, when so many people started listening to it, when most of them were just kind of free-form 8-minute instrumental tracks. I was always kind of making that music on the side for a while, kind of like longer disco house instrumental tracks. I think it just felt super natural starting it fresh and kind of committed to the genre, and then bringing Tim along for it was I think it turned into something pretty special once we first got together. Yeah, the lockdown's actually been pretty nice here in Oz. We can't really complain too much compared to everything else that's happened in the rest of the world for 2020. I think for me, it was kind of just about moving all my stuff into one room and setting up my studio kind of comfortably, and really just having the time, I think, to think about songs and think about like a fuller body of work. Kind of changed a lot for me. We had a few things cancelled, which was kind of a bummer. We meant to come over to Europe and do some stuff, but I think in the overall, I've been super lucky that I've got my studio and that I can work by myself in here. We've got a full EP coming for the Kesmar project, which I'm pretty excited about. It's got some features. It's got a feature of a female French vocalist. Can't say who it is yet, but that's probably my favourite track on the EP at the moment. I think we're keen to play some more shows and just keep putting out music and videos. Just keep on building up, what I first envisioned this project to be. It's taken a little while, but I think this year it's definitely given me time to kind of sit back and be like, these are the songs I want to put out, and this is what I want it to sound and look like. And then just some more remixes on the Lazy Wax side. We've got some music we're sitting on. We're keen to play some more shows for that. This year especially, I've just been madly inspired by the kind of year 1979 to like 1982 it's just kind of been, yeah, a crazy year of deep diving on those specific genres and finding some songs that I've really kind of fallen in love with that have inspired me. So I think number one would probably be Ace with a song called How Long, and then another one would be All For A Reason by the Alessi Brothers, which was kind of a new find. I knew some of their older songs, but this is definitely one of my new favourites. And then a song called That Old Song by Ray Parker Jr. that I really liked.
Save this now. We both know how it will turn out.
I think there's a guy called Max Zuckerman that he just put out an EP or an album released on City Baby Records, which is a really cool Japanese record over in Japan. It's super down my alley. It's kind of AOR, really sleek, kind of early 80s tunes that I think is like absolutely amazing, so keep an eye on him. I go surfing a lot, living on the coast. It's pretty lush to be able to go surf in the mornings and then come back and work here in the studio. And all my friends kind of surf, so it's a pretty big like stress reliever to get to the beach on the weekend with everyone and get some waves. But apart from that, it's pretty much just making music and hanging out in here. I've been into fixing this old tape machine that's to my right here, and kind of starting to learn a little bit about electronics and some vintage gear, which definitely takes its time reading deep dives on Reddit on how to fix things, but it's kind of, I really like learning how things work and what things are made up out of. So my studio setup is kind of all here behind me, and then behind the computer there's some drums, but this is kind of the main place where I work. So we've just got like the Nord, which does whirlies and pianos and Rhodes, and then the Juno 60. So Juno's here. That's my first synth, which, yeah, it's still my favorite synth, and it's many people's as well. And we got the JXP behind that, just over here, which is a friend of mine's, and the Moog original Model D on top, which is actually Tim's. And then here we got like some old organs, a new grandmother, some strings, guitar amps, all that cool stuff. But yeah, it's set up. I got it set up really nicely this year, where I can fix a few things and I can have everything on, and everything is always working. I think it can be such a shame when people have really amazing old gear, but it just sits there. So yeah, it definitely inspires me to have everything turned on and easy to kind of access for sure.